in the motherfucking blue hell are we doing on a Friday night? Oh, I know. It is time for yet again, Ghoul and Ghoulettes, another edition of 6 Feet Underground with your host, the big bad devil daddy himself, Reaper. And tonight is a special, and I love this because it's a genre I don't get to do a lot of. And I got my good buddy, Human the Hoof Beast, which is a black metal project. And we're going to talk about some of the other black metal projects he's got as well. Now, before we run the commercial for our first sponsor, I wanted to formally announce, it went out on social media today, that I am now endorsed by Throttle Addict. Okay. And their website is throttleaddict.com. And there's a wonderful set of photos of the gear that they offer, both men's and women's, t-shirts, hats, snapbacks, because I know the gentlemen love their snapbacks, and women, they have a whole sexy line of shit for you. So if you like wearing next to nothing, they got some awesome designs that need to be on your ass. Anyway, so just wanted to do that real quick. And before we get into it with my brother from another mother here, Human the Hoof Beast, let's go ahead and run a awesome sponsor of ours known as Desaia's Creep Shop. Check it out. So, Easter blues got you down because it's actually Ostara, the spring equinox. I would definitely check out, or if you know somebody that could appreciate the shirt that we saw there, Hail Easter, with a cute little Baffy there, please reach out to Desaia's Creep Shop at Etsy.com. Handmade horror collectibles of all kinds. They are anything from, classic horror to even some new horror as well. So I would most definitely check her out. We're about to actually get a new commercial going for her because she has added a lot and the designs are sick as fuck. So pretty soon we'll be getting that drop from her and we'll be able to show you some of these new designs on camera. Human the Hoof Beast, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
Fucking hell yeah, man. You are just a multifaceted musician and all the extra shit that you do outside of that. Tattoo artist, I don't know, personal guru. What else do we have to your resume here? Just purchased a fantastic fish store that we'll talk about soon enough. But I want to just kind of start from the beginning with how in the hell did you get your start in music as a musician? What kind of set you on this path?
I'll tell you, I got into punk in the 80s. And the show that really got me going, I love the Misfits, especially Earth.
I figured you did.
I saw Danzig years ago, I think in '93 on the Dehumanizer tour. And they opened up for Black Sabbath and I got to see Dio, which was
no shit. Wow.
But there was one show that I went to, and everybody can check this song out. I guarantee you will love it. These guys really set the pace and really changed a lot of things going on in the music scene. So it was the band The Accused. They opened up for GBH.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Played the song The Devil Woman. The place was packed, sold out, and everybody went batshit crazy. It was so much fun, and it was so extreme to me because Blaine is up in our. I have 2 daughters, and if we had a boy, we were going to name him Blaine. And I was so impressed. Today he has quite a bit shorter hair, and now they're called accused AD, kind of like entombed AD.
Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what got me into it. I just always loved distorted guitars. I bought my first guitar in '88 after I was in the Army. I was in the Rangers. As soon as I got my first paycheck, I went down. I bought this Fender Squire with single coils. It sucked. And this.
Oh my goodness! I swear, everyone started out with the Fender Squire. Every guitar player. It was like the easiest one to get a hold of. Either that or like possibly a BC Rich.
Real pieces of shit back then. Like real, like now.
Yeah.
The back a real piece of shit. And so anyways, I got that, and the poor guys in the kind of dorms that we lived in, because they had to listen to me learning how to play, which was awesome.
Yeah, it takes me back to when I was learning the drums. I'm sure my parents' neighbors definitely couldn't appreciate me, like, banging out fucking Slayer and Megadeth in the basement, at like 15, 16 years old. Yeah, I would always come up and go, I would hear my dad talking to the neighbor, and he says, "Man, what the hell's going on in your basement?" But was there like any like black metal catalyst that kind of set you thinking about that particular genre?
Actually, I've grown up in a pretty conservative household, to where like any sort of metal was considered Satan's music. So like I
didn't say it was.
Yeah.
I just fucking with you.
Put that on, and so I was kind of brainwashed by that growing up. I remember I had a neighbor.
The Satanic Panic. You gotta love the 80s, man.
So she
gotta love it.
She was telling me about
Motley Crue money.
I had this neighbor that would drive me to high school, and she was the secretary of the school, and she would ask me about what music I listened to. And so I said, "Oh, Twisted Sister, Iron Maiden."
Yeah,
I was in all of those, and then Suicidal Tendencies, and then The Accused, and she said, "Oh, that's the devil's music," and she had this, she ran through all the cliches for it and all of that. So I spent all these years kind of creeped out by black metal. I didn't. And so once I got into it in 2008, I had missed out. I missed the boat. I'd missed all the good Immortal years, the early Satiric, early Dark Throne, early Mayhem, early Dissection. Like I had missed out on
Merciful Fate.
I'd been into death metal.
Don't forget about Merciful Fate. They started it all. I'm telling you. Everyone says, now this is always been the biggest argument in black metal history, is who fucking started it? Yeah. Well, everyone wants to say Venom. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some Venom. They were the first ones to actually say the term black metal. But if you go back to 1978, little guy from Copenhagen, Denmark, by the name of King Diamond, and his brothers in Merciful Fate actually have now been officially known as the first black metal band, because it just kind of spawned the stylings, like the musical stylings. So a lot of what you hear out of Venom was kind of due to them. So don't know if you could agree, but if you check out, the early albums like The Beginning, Melissa, and then Long at Last, A Dangerous Meeting, there's a lot of tunes that are so fucking fast, so fucking long, that they didn't know what the fuck to call it back then.
Yeah.
Have you ever checked any of those out?
Yeah. And Hellhammer as well.
Oh, my goodness. Hellhammer.
Yeah, I love them a lot. I could get into Venom. I was too scared of Venom when I was in high school.
Which is so interesting because the makeup thing, other than King Diamond at the time, wasn't even happening yet.
No. I would say Tom G. Warrior did it, but his corpse paint was really light. Like he really looked like he'd be dead, who'd been dead maybe about a week. So he would do it, and that's about how I want to do it. Like the time I did it a little while back, I put it on a little darker than I thought. Because
Can we pull that picture up, Genghis?
I wanted to be a little
Corpse
bit
paint.
Tom G. Warrior and the kind of Hellhammer.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, I got shadows on. It actually looked really good.
No, actually, I think it looks great. You know, the online response to that particular photo was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it looked genuine. It did not look like you were trying to look like somebody else in another fucking band.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, kind of the tribute that I do to King Diamond, is not to look like him, but just to have something different, just kind of like exposing the darker nature innate in everyone. So
It's
yeah,
fun.
I thought it was great.
Like when I'm driving in a car with my corpse paint on, oh, the looks that I get.
Oh, let me tell you, the first time I pulled up to some fast food restaurant that we were, you know, trying to get food at the last minute. Just walking into a gas station before a show, they're like, it's not Halloween. I'm in a band, man. Oh, they're like, oh, I get it. Sorry. So many fucking stories about that. Now, was that kind of like the look that you were going for in the early days, or is this something that's just kind of matured for you?
Yeah. In the early days, it was always been closer to a Tom G. Warrior, and I've done the darker, and I like that as well. Like I can do that real well.
For
But
sure.
I like the more like really looking like a corpse, and like just the right amount of white. Like I like doing that, and the black lipstick, that helps too.
Oh, for sure. It's so much fun.
But I haven't.
I don't know. I never really tried to go for that specifically because I think it was kind of overdone. So I thought about the movie Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of like taking it, and because I used to pour just vats of fucking blood on my head, especially being bald, you know, and it just seemed like it gave a little bit more of a horror-esque feel to it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it this evening, but I just didn't happen to have it with me. But that's, you know, I kind of wanted to take a more horrific kind of stance to it.
Yeah, Hellraiser, boy, those were good movies, especially that.
Oh my goodness.
Really wild.
The Cenobites were just breathtaking.
For me though, my parents, when I was in 4th grade, they allowed me to watch The Exorcist.
Here we go.
I did not my legs the full length toward the end of the bed the whole summer. That movie creeped me out so bad. Love that movie.
It was like nothing anyone, you know, there's always been like, you know, I'm not trying to really talk religion or anything, but just that these types of phenomenon actually exist. And you've always heard stories about it and, you know, possession. And then, you know, suddenly horror movies all over the place in the 80s are, you know, trying to emulate this thing. And you go back to the very first one that kicked off the whole genre in horror. And you're like, dude, that was 1,000 times fucking scarier than anything that the 80s was putting out.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, nothing until the third film in the Exorcist series that suddenly, like, punched you in the fucking face and was like, what the hell is going on here? What is this? You know, it really brought that sense of realism. I forget the damn name of the lead actor, but he was pretty popular at the time. He was the policeman guy. And, that scene where you see this person in this all white gown, you can't see its face, but it's got shears and it's running after the nurse. I'm like, oh, fuck, she's dead. Yeah, The Exorcist for sure.
For me,
that fucking movie.
When she would speak with a man's voice and just the look she had toward the priests, and when she
sell it at that age,
like that was fuck me, like that. Wonderful. And now I can do that type of voice, and I can do it every day.
George C. Scott, thank you.
All the time.
Fuck yeah, man. Most definitely. But I still feel like they could have shown a hell of a lot more of Pazuzu. That would have been more badass, because the actress that played Pazuzu, I felt should have got a lot more screen time.
Yeah.
It was frightening. And just to even just see a flash of it, it's like, that
was my daughter watched it with me a couple of months ago, right around Halloween, and
for sure
freaked out when they flashed his face.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every time. Still gives me the chills.
That's a good idea for corpse paint.
There you go. It's either that or try to do the scene, and I think it was Rosemary's Baby, where they actually invited Anton LaVey to play the devil. It's worth it just to see it.
Well, Danzig's early videos were also really good. Like I remember I bought the VHS for that album, and the videos that he had with that, and those were kind of out there. Like I felt like I was doing something a little bit forbidden by purchasing that VHS.
My favorite was the Q&A with him sitting on I think it was right outside a graveyard, and then you see this like big headstone. It's like a cross and stuff, and they're like, do you believe in God? Sure. What about Satan? Oh, if you believe in God, you believe in Satan. And it was just like, they asked him about the exploding Jesus Christ shirt. That had like the Danzig skull with the hand around the throat. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's cool. Man, when I saw that and heard that, I was like, God damn it, I want that shirt. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, when did Slayer kind of come in for you? Was it a kind of like a afterthought, or because you referenced like Iron Maiden and some of the other great motherfucking bands of that time?
Yeah, the first album from Slayer that I got into was South of Heaven.
Oh yes. Most people did.
And I didn't get into the earlier ones, not even Rain and Blood. It was South of Heaven, and I to
Sacrilege. Kelly, good to see you. Queen of the South, welcome.
In that
long-time viewer.
And I got into that album. That was after I got into Metallica, because I was into hardcore so much. And so my bridge into metal was DRI, Cryptic Slaughter, and The Accused.
Okay.
And then I got into Metallica, and then that opened up Slayer, and I got into Megadeth, and then I got into Napalm Death. I'm in 2 Napalm Death videos.
The fuck?
Yeah, I'm only in the audience, but you can see me for sure. Like, no kidding. So when
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
When Headbangers was on, I'm in the Suffer the Children. I forget, it's like 2 minutes and 21 seconds or 2 minutes and 31 seconds, something like that. And I had friends the next day saying, dude, I saw you on Headbangers Ball last night. And I was like, what? So I had seen Napalm Death maybe 2 months before, and they had somebody with like one of the old home video cameras, and I thought nothing of it.
I saw, and then all of a sudden there you are.
At that night we got to see Nocturnus, Godflesh, and Napalm Death on the Harmony.
Oh damn!
It was a great show.
That had to be a killer fucking show.
Yeah, it was.
Kelly asks, "What about Witchfind?"
Witchfinder?
Witch Find, I think, is the name of the band.
Which fine? No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with them.
Okay, might be somebody you might want to go
Yeah,
back and check out.
definitely will.
So a lot of these bands, like you said, were starting to kind of shape your guitar, style, and stuff that you were, getting into. When did it get darker? Like, what was the band that took you even further?
Hmm. Well, that's a really good question.
There's so many good ones, I know.
Yeah, the
For
darker
real.
would be. I was listening to Fenris with Dark Throne, and I liked
Dark Throne.
how
Wow.
Dark Throne was, but then I started listening to the older Immortal, older Enslaved,
Ah.
older Satyricon,
Oof.
especially, gosh, what was the name of that album? I got them right now. Actually, that one's on the other side of the room. All my CDs are right back here. I've got,
And what a hell of a collection you
I
got
have
there.
like 16. So I'm surprised I don't know that Witch Find band. I've been pretty dedicated. At least I thought I was. Maybe I
That's
was.
the thing. There were so many good fucking bands. I mean, even like fucking Deicide.
Oh,
Uh
I just
so good.
first time August 3rd. The first time I ever got to see them. I wanted to see them for years. And when their first self-titled album came out, that blew me away. I remember the day I got that album, October 2nd, 1990. October 1st, 1990 was the day before I graduated Ranger School. And it
Gotcha.
blew me away, creeped me out.
Yeah, somebody, burns an upside down cross in their forehead and it's scarred. And then names their first male child Damien Lucifer. I mean, sure, that's enough to probably freak anybody out that doesn't really understand things.
Well, they had the dual vocals going like Carcass did. I didn't
Oh, Carcass. Oh my goodness.
until I saw Carcass. It was Death's last show with Bill Andrews and Terry Butler on bass and drums. And Chuck Schuldiner was so upset, like he was in a bad mood the whole show. But I also got to see Pestilence with Martin Van Drunen, and Martin Van Drunen was playing bass, which was really cool. This was October, I think, 14th of 1990. And when Chuck got up there and didn't smile, didn't talk to the audience, no stage presence, just stayed there the whole time, did not move, did not headbang, nothing. Just stayed there and got through the set.
Like frozen in time.
Yep, I knew there was a problem with the band, but the good news, what came out of that was the album Human, which blew me away with Sean Reinert's drumming. Love Sean Reinert. Really sad that he passed away. I also knew Corrosion of Conformity's Reed
Pepper!
I knew him. He invited me to get on stage one time with him when they were opening for Megadeth, and I freaked out.
Whoa.
I don't know if I can do that.
Corrosion opened up for fucking Megadeth?
Yeah, he offered to get me up on stage with him. I was
Pepper did?
Yeah.
Now yes. Our producer actually just met Pepper for the first time at a recent show. So you just made him shit his pants.
Oh.
And my son, who is also the lead guitar player for Black Tar, just met Jimmy Bowers of I Hate God and Down, who is Down's drummer. And I was like, you fucking asshole. Oh, yeah. Kelly says, damn, I only got invited on stage with Rat. Damn it, man. Hey, I mean, mad love for Stephen Percy and fucking Rat. Although nowadays he looks like a roast chicken. But I mean, great fucking band. Yeah. Just, the years were just not very good to him, apparently. Let's see here. Oh, Kelly says, I met Pepper with my son a few years ago. Oh my God, I just hung out with I Hate God. Now I'm jealous, Kelly. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
I have wanted to meet Jimmy Bowers for I don't know how fucking long. Holy shit. All right.
Wow.
So, I mean, you just seem to have like a plethora of influences. So,
Yeah.
when did you really start to like try to do the band thing?
Well, I was in an instrumental progressive metal band in Phoenix, Arizona, from 2010 to 2012, and then we moved to Saudi Arabia, and so I had to break all that off.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
we had 12-minute songs, a 13-minute song. Most of the songs were somewhere around 8 to 10 minutes long, and
Sure. I mean, that's very indicative of the genre.
and I played bass. I had a real distorted but punchy bass. Like I love Flea a lot, and I love Getty, so I tried to get in between there, but I put a lot
Ah,
more dirt into my tone, kind of like the tone I have now. But the tone I have now is even better for bass. It's even more punchy and pretty distorted. So yeah, that was I'd been in little bands that would we'd start something and it'd go a month or two and flitter out, but that was the
isn't that the worst fucking thing in the world? It's like having a one night stand and you never hear from the person ever again.
yeah.
I mean, that's just legit how the like typical what they call, garage band, does just sometimes, and you're just jamming out with the person and you're like, oh man, let's go to the next level. Let's do a show. See ya.
Yeah.
That's
Boy,
how it happens,
I had trouble with
or
it.
life happens or whatever. And it's like, nah, man, like I'm serious about having a career. And, it fizzles out.
Yeah,
Now, before we get to the next step, let's take a quick commercial break with the awesome, satanically beautiful, totally approved royal10clothing.com. All right. So, as a matter of fact, we just had royal10clothing.com on last week, where we dropped the bombshell that here at my new metaphysical horror and music shop, we are going to be in store carrying royal10clothing.com shirts, all of those fantastic, classic horror to new kind of demonic looking, type of art that is coming out of them currently will be in this store, as well as coming up with a new Reaper line of shirts. And we can't wait. I mean, as many people try to go to like horrormerch.com and all that stuff to get, shirts through them, you're paying through the nose, but through royal10clothing.com, it is a fair price that fits everybody's budget, and you're getting high quality shirts. So be looking for all those new designs right now. Make sure you go to their website and definitely support them all the way. They are fantastic. So, Genghis has a question. Do you drink coffee, and what do you put in it?
Oh, I put 3 spoons of artificial creamer. I don't like the sweet stuff. And I put 1 teaspoon of sugar.
All right.
But I
You've
like
heard it here first. So there was a comment by the illustrious Kelly Garcia. I'm just starting my first band, Crypnotic Fuzz, doom metal, me and my bass. You're never too old to follow your dreams and rock and fucking roll.
yeah.
And I have to honestly say that in my 20 plus career in this business, I'm having more fucking fun now than I ever have.
Mm,
So I don't know. I think the dream gets better as you get older because you see through people's bullshit. You
yeah.
find people that are actually more dedicated and really want to, make this a full-time thing. So couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Crypnotic Chaos. So we'll be looking for anything that you guys do in the future. Would love to have you back on the underground as well. So, all right. So, how did Human the Hoof Beast come about?
That's a great question. So we were all locked up in 2020, and I had my Gibson Les Paul and my Steve Smythe signature BC Rich Bitch,
Nah,
and I got
classic.
much more well acquainted with those two. I wrote a song, and it was the March of Change song. I think that's a almost 10-minute long song, and I wrote that.
Nice.
I thought, you know what? We're going to be locked up for even more months. I was in Kazakhstan, and so we were
Right.
on a strict lockdown, really strict lockdown. Like the police are out on the streets, and they'll come talk to you if they caught you walking out when you weren't supposed to be out. And so, yeah, so I I decided, you know what? I'm not really good with computers, but I'm going to teach myself. So the first thing I got was a program, Easy Drummer 2, so I could create all my,
Ah, yes.
and that was easy to do. I thought, okay, if I can do this, let me search for software to record with. And so I did that, and I found Reaper. And Reaper is beloved by so many people, and I love it. Like it to me, it's really easy to use. Some people say it's hard to use, but it's not hard to use to me. So I got that, and so when I came up with the name Human the Hoof Beast, um, really what I've always wanted to communicate in my songs is that, we're the devils on earth. We just need to look in the mirror. When we think about what we do to animals and slaughterhouses and what we do to each other, how mean we can be to each other, the greed that we can have, and, not caring about people, like we're really the beast, but we like to create this character that has horns, and we like to call that the beast and make that the bad guy.
It's funny because I've said it for the better part of 30 years. The devil himself is not the bad guy. It's innate in the human person.
And
So
so in Human the Hoofed Beast, Human the Hoofed Beast, we are the Hoofed Beast that is supposed.
absolutely. It's almost kind of like destined to destroy themselves kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Okay, so that was like the idea behind this band.
Yeah.
So
I had never.
what made you choose, black metal? And it's very different, in my opinion,
Mhm.
from most of the black metal that comes through. Like you said, like Mayhem, a Bath, Dimmu Borgir,
Yeah.
and I'll even say, let's say, Cradle of Filth, who were pretty much like the leaders of black metal. Oh, Behemoth as well, which
Yeah.
is very beloved to me because I just love what Nergal does,
Yeah.
uh, with that band, especially that they're not just all super fast, blast beats all the way through anymore. They actually show that they have musical depth, and sometimes like the slower aspect can even bring it across even better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, love Behemoth. I think it's a Evangelion album. That album is
Ah, yes. Very good record.
that's an album where you can really hear the black metal chords that they're putting into that. Yeah, so I chose black metal, but I really wanted to mix doom. So I do try to slow things down a bit and then put doom into it because I want to be something a little different. I have a bachelor's degree in fine art, and so there's always this artist element and trying to be original. So I thought, well,
Oh, there has to be.
I don't really know any black metal bands that also really try to have doom in them. Although there are, you know, even Dark Throne's last two albums have kind of a doom element to them, and
Absolutely.
I
Sometimes like that dropping the bottom out
yeah,
is what I like to call it. Adds another level of heavy just when you think it can't get heavier than that.
yes, I always have appreciated bands that change tempo, that speed it up and then slow down because there's even more like it's like dropping a mountain on you kind of heavy when you get really slow and you start to chug and
Oh, big time.
yeah so I really wanted to mix both of those. And then there's something in me like with black metal, the kind of black and roll Satyricon from about 2000, their Black Crow or the Age of Nero in that song Black Crow on a Tombstone. There's a
Hmm.
groove to that, and I just can't help but have every song has some aspect of a groove in it. And black metal really doesn't have that usually. It's
No, it's very like almost robotic um, to the rhythm section that a lot of people just can't sit there for 5 to 10 minutes going, okay, when is something different going to happen?
a lot of the bands do sound very similar, and I
They
think
do.
and I
Oh, fucking hell. I think it was for me when I discovered black metal and became a fan of it was Dimmu Borgir and Cradle of Filth. Each one kind of gave, it was really kind of interesting for me, especially as a drummer.
mhm,
Um, when I listened to early Cradle, which was way more black metal than by the time they got to Cruelty and the Beast,
yeah,
and I just fell in love with the synths and the drumming style of Nicholas Barker, who actually went on to become the drummer for Dimmu Borgir.
yeah,
And Dimmu Borgir was not your usual Norwegian black metal. It
no,
just wasn't. Genghis says, many of them definitely sound similar. You got to stand out and do your own thing for sure.
yep,
Totally. Oh my goodness.
absolutely,
And it's funny that by the time Behemoth's album called The Satanist came out,
mhm,
was the very first fucking time that they started to experiment with slower tempos, like you were saying.
yeah,
And they gained far more success as a band because, like I said, people can't, like, for
yeah.
fucking 10 minutes long and try to make any sense of what the fuck is going on. It's just so true.
Slowing
And
down gives a different character. It allows you
it
to
does.
groove and kind of chew on it a little bit more. When it's so fast, I mean, they run out of things to make them sound different. But when you change that tempo, it's like a whole different sauce that you're putting over to flavor something. And there's many
Absolutely.
sauces you can
You chefs out there.
put.
Got to put more flavor in the sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, for fucking sure, man. And I'll tell you, when Black Tar Superstar itself, as an actual four-man band, because as many people forget, Black Tar Superstar started out as a one-man project back in 2014. And it wasn't until 2008, God damn it, 2019, that the vocalist and bass player, the Doctor, Herr Doctor, decided that he wanted actual musicians to really try to bring this thing to the forefront.
Yeah.
And, where the fuck was I going? God damn it. I just forgot. It adds a different spectrum to everything that's going on. You have so many different flavors, and everybody brings something new to the table.
Yeah. Yeah. And Black Tar Superstar, like when I first listened to you guys, I was thinking I
just remembered where I was going. But go ahead. God damn it.
Definitely hear the Danzig. And I hear some Corrosion of Conformity.
Oh, big time.
In big time as well. And then I hear Pantera in there a bit as
there
well.
Is. I'm a huge Vinnie Paul fan. Always will be.
Wherever
you are, Vinnie, we love
you. The way you use your kicks. A lot of real quick rolls and fills.
It's something that doesn't have to dominate, but you can use it in such a way to add a different texture. And that's kind of the way I've always viewed it. But, when we were finally a band and just coming out, and I was starting to form relationships, all you bands out there need to do this. I was starting to look at everybody who's out in the scene and came across your stuff. I think it was actually pre-Moon Relic Records,
right,
if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And I just thought this shit was fucking amazing. Wow. I'm always looking for artists that raise the bar in a genre that everyone is like, okay, we know what to expect. This is what I'm going to get. And you changed it.
Wow. Thanks.
For me. You and Pupengott from Germany, as a matter of fact, you both have two different ways of bringing black metal to the masses that if you don't like one style, you might like the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just instantly drawn to what you were doing. And he says, agreed. Very much so. So different and so good. Yes, most definitely. So many of you out there, hopefully by now, if you're following Reapers Underground, both on Facebook and Terror Crew Productions, OHNE, as well as 6 Feet Underground with Reaper on Instagram, that Human the Hoof Beast is now part of the ever-growing Terror Crew Productions OHNE family, where you can see constantly all of the awesome playthrough videos that you've been doing, constantly putting out good content where people can kind of see what you're working on and where you're heading towards.
Yeah.
So definitely, please give Human the Hoof Beast a follow on Instagram. Big time. For sure. And you can always catch it on Reapers Underground as well on Facebook. So how did the Moon Relic Records thing happen?
Yeah, the guy, he just wrote me, and I don't even think we were following each other. He just wrote me and said, do you have a label? And I think I had just finished the first song. I was just starting working on the second song. And I wasn't, ready to get a label yet. And he just reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, I was really excited.
The guy's got a hell of an eye for talent.
Yeah.
I definitely have to say that.
Yeah, Tommy, and he's a really cool guy. Been over to his house, hung out with his mom. She's real sweet.
Now, how many people can say that about a fucking label?
Yeah.
Nobody. That doesn't happen. It happens with lawyers and fucking, conference rooms and shit like that. That's why I always say the underground is where it's at. It's one big fucking family. It doesn't matter what label you're on, who's pushing you, all that shit. We all love each other.
Yeah.
So that gave you a platform to really put this thing out there.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's done real well. I think, you know, if you're kind to people and you're genuine to people, they can see that. And that's one thing I thought that I would do differently is like, I don't only put on clips where I don't make a mistake. I make a mistake probably in every do.
For sure.
And I know there are some guitarists
We're human.
that
We
that
make mistakes
they
all the
want,
fucking time.
yeah, they a lot of musicians, they only want perfect out there. But for me, I'm an artist. And there was some Jimi Hendrix thing that I shared with some people the other day, and Jimi Hendrix essentially talked about how he doesn't worry about making mistakes, that he's more about being original. And I think if you get too focused on, like, how many times have we seen people who've gone to music school and they're super technical and they're super boring. They're
Exactly.
total vanilla.
I think I've been saying that about Dream Theater for like the last 20 fucking years. I'm like, okay, you guys all went to the biggest music schools ever, and everything you put out, nobody likes. You're only popular because it's like there's no song that is going to last 50, 60 fucking years, 70 years, like fucking Black Sabbath. For real.
Man.
And none of them went to any music school at all. And it's like, oh, well, this guy went to MIT and they're doing clinics and all this other shit. And I'm just like, you know what? That's great. But do you have a legion of fans that hang on your every fucking word, go to your shows, and put you in, like, I don't know, a godlike archetype, you know? And people and generation after generation after generation is going to fucking love you? No fucking way. No, ain't going to happen.
Yep.
So, and let's talk about the response that you had received once you were able to put out your first effort.
Well, I got a couple of reviews, and they were great reviews. They really didn't say anything poorly about it. Usually, what I'll get is a little bit of maybe talk about the production. And fair enough, that was my first time learning the program and how to record. So
sure.
But I also had a lot of difficulties because the guy who did the final mastering on it was in Indonesia, and there was a big language barrier. And so the first song he did, I didn't like. The song sounded like something else. Like you couldn't even hear the guitars; they were so far in the background that I said, nope, we're just gonna have to stop right now. He said, okay.
Right.
So I sent him another song, and then I loved what he did. That was Jesus Discount Warehouse. I loved it on that one.
I love that tune. That's probably my favorite one.
And that's a song from a band that was only in for a few months, like in 2008. Another band, called, the heck were we called? Something Wolf, Black Wolf. And yeah, that's something from like way back then.
We're getting older. Deal with it, people.
Yeah. So
all right.
So, anyways, yeah, the response has been good. It's made me want to make another album, and so for the next one, what I'm planning on, the big difference is I'm going to have a 7-string for everyone. I've got a better drum kit now. I'm going to have better production. But that 7-string is that's a really nasty part. And I like to do the quite a bit too. But I'm still going to make it, you'll still have that flavor of black metal to it. But it also, sure. I'm using a little bit more kind of discordant, disharmonic kind of chords and kind of off sounds in there that I'm just flicking at the end of a riff. and so it's going to have more of those elements in it, but it'll still sound like Human the Hoof Beast's last album.
Oh, for sure. Just like a overall better kind of quality. Yes, absolutely. Yes, weird discordant stuff is the best.
Like Viljarta.
Always.
I don't know if you've heard of Viljarta. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I think the first time I heard Viljarta was like 2010 or 2011. Oh my gosh, that album blew me away. They took Meshuggah and just made it like a lot heavier. Like in Meshuggah's
For
another
sure.
I saw. I love Meshuggah live, but I can't stand the vocals on their albums. But live, Meshuggah's amazing. I like the vocals because you can predict what every song's going to sound like. He takes
Yeah,
words
that's true.
and he holds each word out almost the same length. He doesn't chop things up and give us a variety.
Mm-hmm. Which I also find very unique about your vocals. You can completely understand what the fuck you're saying, and B, it's like so controlled. Is there any one vocalist that you could say that you kind of owe that to?
I like Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation. I know
Cattle Decapitation.
I
Woo!
band smoked with them. Yeah,
They're pretty incredible. I must say.
oh, like Travis Ryan is just crazy. He can do black metal high. He can do dinosaur gurgles and
Hashtag dinosaur gurgles.
to me, to me,
I don't think I've ever heard of it like described as that, but that's fucking badass.
he can do
Nice.
he can do anything. He's the most dynamic vocalist out there. And I was talking to him. I said, one of my favorites is Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. Like I think
for sure.
Amazing.
Randy's fantastic.
So I threw that to Travis Ryan, and Travis Ryan was like, no. I said, well, who's yours? And he said, Martin Van Drunen of Pestilence.
What? Really? That's surprising.
Yeah. It's like Martin Van Drunen's not real dynamic, but boy, he's a banshee. He's just screaming it out. But I'm glad that you say that about the vocals, because I really do I want people to understand every word that I'm saying. I don't try to slur things. I'm pretty good with that. Like I can actually sing as well. Like there's one of the songs on the last album, Swarm of Poison Maggots. In that song I sing clean vocals. So yeah.
Nice. What do you think about the guy from Lorna Shore?
Yeah, that's a new band. Like I just watched a video about them yesterday. Yeah, nasty, wonderful vocals. Excellent.
That guy, I don't know what demon lives inside him, but I actually did a reel where there was like the end of this one song where he's just taking you through this, like, I don't know even what to call it, like a spastic display of his screaming ability, where it goes to one high to the next high and then a high above that and then holds it out, which seems like 3 goddamn minutes.
Yeah.
And it just made the hairs that I don't even have stand up. I couldn't believe it. The band's fantastic, but man, some of the new generation, like the really good, underground stuff, is just kind of raising the bar a little bit, which is cool to see.
Yeah, I like Infant Annihilator's vocalist.
Oh yeah, that's another fantastic band.
Excellent.
Kelly says, "My Miller Lite gonna make me slur. I better slow it down." That's all right, Kelly. We're with you.
Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon.
Well, at least you're not asking me to put my face on your ass so that you could wear it around. You know, it's a little insider joke from one of my former guests. Oh man, yes, I agree, Kelly. The underground is most definitely the best.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. If you love what you're seeing, you tune in every Friday or Saturday and you're loving the underground, check out the rest of the merch and help support us for all the programming that Three Witches Entertainment does. Most definitely. Please. Who doesn't love a bunny with an upside down cross on its head? Everybody needs that for their Easter tradition. Come on. Anyways, if honestly, out there in Three Witches Land, if you love what you're seeing, we make you laugh. Just like the other night, you know, with us two assholes on the shred. If you like the list that we go through, please help us out and support. Wear it proud and listen to it loud. All right. So we got about 3 or so minutes left. So let's kind of do a quasi quick kind of thing here. We'll start first with what is your 3 top favorite horror films of all time?
Ooh, that's easy for me.
Sweet.
Number 1
usually isn't.
Number 2 is 28 Days, and number 3 is 28 Weeks Later.
Nice. All right. Excellent. Now, this is the shameless plug time of all time. So, what do you want to say to everybody out there in Three Witches Land that are watching and listening? What do you have coming up? And do you want to talk a little bit about, oh my goodness, the other project that you got going on with your brother from Germany?
Yeah, Dark and Paler. That's coming
That's
up.
it.
Yep. So I'm working on my first song for the second album for Human the Hoof Beast, and then I'm finishing up 2 more songs for Dark and Paler. That way we will be able to release 10 songs on a CD.
Ooh.
And
now, what makes the 2 different, do you think?
Human the Hoof Beast and let's see, Jan is a lot more straightforward black metal, but he also mixes a little bit more death metal.
Nice. So, real quick, Black Tar superstar guitarist, the Death Slinger says, "Hope you're well, but what is your favorite metal band that made you want to start music as a whole?" Apparently, he's late to the game.
I'm glad he's here, though. Yeah, he's
absolutely.
Yeah. I think the first one, the actual first one, was Sabbath, and then it was Quiet Riot, and Quiet Riot was Iron Maiden, and Suicidal Tendencies, and then The Accused. But
there we go.
The Accused is
there you have it.
A fun question.
Definitely a cocktail worthy of metal supremacy. Awesome.
Yeah. I've also been asked to be in a technical death metal band as a bassist, and I'll do some backup vocals as well. They're called Abattoir, they're in Atlanta, so that's a long drive.
Nice.
3.5 hour drive for me. So
for sure.
And we're kind of talking about that, and I'll probably go have a.
Oh shit! I think we
All
lost you
right.
for a second.
Oh, did I mute? I think it muted.
No, probably the internet. It sucks. Yes. Make sure you all tune in Monday for a special 6 Feet Underground with Reaper with the awesome, amazing Dennis Pana, currently a sensation who has done two, not one, but two tributes to Typo Negative in a way that you've never heard it before, but yet that voice, though. Anyhow, so out there for those that have been watching, what kind of a message do you want to leave some possibly new fans that you've now made?
Sorry, my I'm muted right now.
Actually,
For
not
some
on
reason,
my
my
end.
phone muted. Yeah, so I can't hear you. Sorry.
Ah, damn it. All right. One more time. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I can't
Anybody
hear.
else? Damn it! We can hear you perfectly, brother.
Thank you so much for having me on, man. The message that I want to send to fans is stay in the underground. There's a lot of great bands, a lot of great people. It's a really good community on Instagram as well. Like I really love having all my different friends in the metal community. It's something I look forward to every day. I'd say get involved in the underground in many different ways. Go see shows, pay the money, buy their music. Keep the dream alive for us.
Absolutely, because people, we don't do this for our health. We don't do this because, we feel we're going to be like the millionaire dogs of the universe. It's because we love the art of what we do, what we love to listen to, and most importantly, to give you something that is a release, something that you can relate to, and overall make you feel like you're not alone out there in the omniverse. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this awesome black metal edition of The Underground with the so motherfucking awesome Human the Hoof Beast. And honestly, just a great motherfucking human being as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
I
We
really appreciate it. Best of luck to
so
Black Tar
much.
Superstar, Terror Crew Productions. I really appreciate that too, man. The future is ours.
Always. But most importantly, stay heavy.